Good afternoon from a sweltering Cambridge, 31 degrees, and I heard that tomorrow, Tuesday, the 1st of July, in the Midlands it's going to be 41. Could reach 41. That's incredible. So, I'm going to take you into the cool stone building. That is St Benets. St Benets Church in Cambridge, the city of Cambridge. Now, as you can see, this is quite a lovely church. There's its organ. In the corner there is a memorial to Arnold Joseph Wallace MA. He was a fellow and bursar of Corpus Christi and a scholar of Trinity. He died 1913. So we move into the south aisle, which, as you can see, has been shortened to a modern meeting room. Here is a prayer station. That is it looks like it's Christ. And there's St Anne. And here is St Franciscus, St Francis of Assisi, and Benedictus St Benedict. And as you can see, the stained glass window, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews. And here it says, go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. Here we have a memorial to James Howe, or is it Hoff, 45 years churchwarden, and another one to John Randall, a professor of music at the University of Cambridge, who died in 1799, Grace, his wife, and Anne, the daughter-in-law. And there are plenty of tourists around the city, as you can no doubt see. Plenty of tourists, Asian cultures. Here is the memory to Eliza Hayward, buried in the churchyard, and this is her memorial window. Christ disputing with the doctors in the temple. And you can see the stations of the cross, which would indicate it's a fairly, could be a fairly high church. And here we have another stained glass window. There's some fabulous windows here. The left is, come unto me, all ye that are weary and heavy laden, and that she hath chosen that good part which shall not be taken away from her, to the glory of God, in memory of Francis, is it Swan, who died 1882, 22nd of February. And here, the West Room, if you see what I mean. And here's the list of incumbents. Simon, in 1197, a rector. Edvardsen, perpetual curates. Is there anyone there who went on to greater things? Then it became a vicar, 1846. Pullen. Denis is that Society of St Francis. Dennis Wilton Marsh. And the last two vicars have been women. The last man was Samuel Richard Sidney Double. And we have here the memorial to Mary and Edward Randall. And this plaque here says, "To the glory of God," and to commemorate the tercentenary of the birth of Fabian Stedman, who was a ringer at this church. The Stedman he invented the Stedman, laid the foundation of the art of change ringing. And the bells were restored by the ringers of Great Britain, Ireland and overseas, 1931. And the vane on the tower was renewed in memory of Gilbert Duffus Sutherland, Bushnell, the priest, Mildred Mary Bushnell and John Egerton Ruck, the major of the Gloucestershire Regiment, and Eleanor Ruck. And the plaque was erected even in memory of Geoffrey Hex Sutherland Bushnell, who died in 1978. He worshipped in this church and cared for its fabric for 30 years. Requiescat in pace, rest in peace. So now you can see the West End, and high above us, the ringing chamber. I assume that's the only way you can get to it. And here is sacred to the memory of Susanna, the wife of the Reverend George Culture, who was incumbent of the parish. Dame Elizabeth Harwood, the only daughter of the late Reverend Sir John Purcell of Halsowen, Salop, and the city of Oxford, a relict of Sir Buswick Harwood, Knight, a professor of anatomy and Downing Professor of Medicine here in Cambridge. She died 10th of June 1836, aged 73. Of course, Anglo-Saxon Foundation, Reformation, and this is the rather empty North aisle, which I suppose can be used for other purposes. And the Reader's Lectern is here. It's a removable one. And of course you've got the pulpit there, and look at the before you get to the tower, look at that Norman arch. Stunning. I'm just gonna, right. Oh. Let's walk down here. I'm gonna just take you in here and just show you the East End, and I'll finish my video here because it's far too hot to record outside. So, God bless all my viewers.